This is Dave, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Analog Rewind, Jeff Myers on bringing Buffalo's alternative rock legends back to Art Park. Jeff Myers knows music. He is a Pulitzer Prize-nominated journalist whose writing has been revered in Western New York for decades. According to Myers, his passion for music and his experience as an instrumentalist have both influenced the way he listens to and writes about artists. "I was a musician first," he said. "I love to write, and I love to write about music. Once I was at the Buffalo News, I was lucky to be present to this amazing music community that we have in Buffalo." Myers is bringing his talents as a critic and musician to curate Analog Rewind, a concert that reunites 5 iconic Buffalo alternative rock bands from the mid to late 90s on August 22nd, 2026 at Art Park. Analog Rewind is definitely a celebration of a certain era of Buffalo original music, said Myers. The idea was to bring back to the same time. I mean, we're lucky that most of us are still here. We're all still playing, we still all really like each other, and we're still good. Hopefully better. Analog Rewind is a special fundraiser supporting Art Park's Memory Cafe, a free program for individuals living with dementia, Alzheimer's, or memory loss, and the caregivers who support them. The idea came from Wendy, Dina, and Dave Wiedekind from Art Park, said Myers. They reached out to me and asked me to curate it, and I started reaching out to a wish list. And incredibly, everyone said yes really quickly. And not all of these people are in town anymore, but they're all happy to come back and play. The wish list that Myers created and the bands that will be playing include Ainsley Court, Girl Pope, Marvelous Sauce, the Ramrods, and the Trails. Myers is excited to reconnect with band members and past audience members alike, but he wants the concert to be more than just nostalgia. What we did then still holds up. It still means something. It matters to us, and there are still people who were there then, and some younger people are curious. I love this idea of like passing on part of the culture to people who maybe weren't even born yet when we were playing Mohawk Place, Nietzsche's, and the Continental. The concert promises to be an unforgettable event, and Myers hopes it allows people to gather around the power of music and have an experience that they can share with other people in real time and in public. Going to shows is that feeling of, as corny as this is, it's like you certainly feel more connected to your brothers and sisters than if you live through social media. There is a chance to look at somebody and go, "Did you hear that?" Or "Did you feel that?" Or "I love this song." And before you know it, you're hugging a stranger. Analog Rewind will play Art Park's Main Stage Theater, a venue that Myers feels is ideal for the event. It's so beautiful there. Sometimes people don't think of it as a regional or Buffalo music venue as much as they should. The setting is just perfect, and it's 25 minutes from Buffalo. After the concert, Myers hopes audiences consider what a cool era of music that was. This music just totally stands up, and it could be made today or tomorrow. I hope they get the vibe that original music and creativity in Buffalo music culture goes deep. Analog Rewind will be presented at Art Park's Main Stage Theater on Saturday, August 22nd from 5 p.m. Tickets are available online. Grant O'Brien on making classical music accessible, one free concert at a time. Grant O'Brien is a conductor known for imaginative programming, dynamic performances, and a commitment to making orchestral music accessible to broad audiences. He previously served as assistant conductor of the Jacksonville Symphony and Augusta Symphony, leading a wide range of family, education, pops, film, and community engagement concerts. His credits also include conducting live-to-picture performances of films and developing innovative multimedia concert experiences in collaboration with musicians, educators, and cultural institutions. This summer, he will conduct a BPO's free concert series at the following venues. On July 22nd at Clarence Town Park at 7:30 p.m. On July 24th, Academy Park in Lewiston at 7 p.m. And July 26th at Nyawanda Park, Tonawanda at 7 p.m. Being the inaugural Joan Folletta Conducting Fellow with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra for the 25-27 seasons and what the position entails. His roots are in Western New York. He had an Eastman education and how being a performer influences in conducting. The impact of family programming, the music of superhero films, programming for the summer series concerts, a conversation about some of the repertoire a potential audience members need to know before attending a free summer concert. What he hopes the audiences will experience in these concerts. Buffalo, who knew? That forest lawn was part of the 19th century rural or garden cemetery movement. Buffalo, who knew? That Forest Lawn, the cemetery located in the city proper, adjacent to Olmsted's Delaware Park that dates back to 1849, was part of the 19th century rural or garden cemetery movement. The movement, which represented a nationwide shift inspired by Romanticism, aimed to move burials out of cramped, unsanitary city centers into beautifully landscaped park-like settings. It was centered on three primary tenets: picturesque landscapes, art and commemoration, and public recreation. The visionary founders of Forest Lawn took inspiration from other notable garden cemeteries, including Père Lachaise in 1804 in Paris, Mount Auburn Cemetery, 1831 in Cambridge, Mass., Greenwood Cemetery, 1838 in Brooklyn, New York, and Spring Grove Cemetery, 1855, Cincinnati, Ohio, all of which were designed to balance art and nature. Listen as Fritz sits down with John Edens, archivist of the Margaret L. Wendt Archive and NASA Research Center at Forest Lawn, to learn more about Forest Lawn's history and present-day endeavors, which includes strategic partnerships with other historic cemeteries in the area, an arboretum and bird sanctuary. The Erie County Arts in Public Places Committee seeks artwork for installation at the Buffalo Convention Center. Works should be original, no reproductions, and ready for installation. Works may be in any medium. Artists may submit up to 3 works for consideration. Selected works will be part of Erie County's public art collection. It's not every day that Erie County sends out a call for art, especially for small works. This is a wonderful opportunity for artists to sell their original works and have those works on public view. This past July 20th, the County of Erie Arts and Public Spaces announced the parameters for this unusual call for art that would ultimately be installed at the Buffalo Convention Center. From there, the works of art may end up traveling around Erie County to government offices, libraries, community centers, etc. Adding to the interest of this opportunity, the submitted works can be in any medium, which really opens the doors to any and all artists to participate. Plus, artists are free to submit up to 3 works of art in varying sizes. It is interesting to note that this is the second time an opportunity of this nature has come to pass. The 2025 Small Works Public Art Collection is currently on display in the Buffalo Convention Center. Artists whose works were acquired in 2025 include Max Collins, Kayla DeLeon, Doretha Edwards, Christina Francis, Wilhelmina Godfrey, Linda Hall, Monet Alyssa Garrett Kiffner, Iris M. Kirkwood, Bethany Kroll, Andy Kreisdeck, Julian Montague, Scott Olmsted, Lou Rera, Kelly Schnur, Catherine Scher, Adam Swift, and Andrea Wygalowski for 2025 Artist Social Media and Website. Public Art Opportunity. The project overview. The Erie County Arts and Public Places Committee seeks artwork for installation at the Buffalo Convention Center. Work should be original, no reproductions. Works may be in any medium. There are no time limitations other than those dictated by the exhibition space. Artists may submit up to 3 works for consideration. Please complete a separate application for each work. In 2023, the Erie County Legislature passed a local law that provides ongoing financial support for public art. The law seeks to make art more accessible to county residents and visitors and foster a sense of community connection and civic pride. The Arts and Public Places Committee was established to support the initiative by commissioning, selecting, placing, and preserving public art in a variety of media throughout the county. The Arts and Public Places Committee is committed to enhancing Erie County's public spaces with the inclusion of artwork that reflects the diversity and creativity of the local community. As part of this commitment, the committee will consider the purchase of small works of art to be displayed inside the Buffalo Convention Center. Once purchased, the small works may be moved periodically for display in other county-owned buildings, such as government offices, libraries, and community centers, where they can be enjoyed by the public and contribute to a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere. This initiative provides local artists with an opportunity to contribute to the aesthetic and cultural landscape of the region while promoting public engagement in the arts. This call for the second annual of its kind, the 2020 Fall Small Works Public Art Collection, is currently displayed in the Buffalo Convention Center. Done deal, 814 and 821 Main Street. The Krog Group has purchased the first 2 pieces of the Buffalo Diocese Catholic Center campus on Main Street. Krog's Main Burton LLC purchased a parking lot at 814 Main and a former roller rink turned warehouse garage at 821 Main for $1.84 million. In May, Krog outbid Brooklyn-based affordable housing developer BFC Partners with a $4.6 million offer for all of the diocese's former Courier Express properties, $100,000 more than BFC. BFC was planning affordable housing for the site. Krog has not yet revealed plans. Yet to be purchased are the Courier Express building at Main and Goodell, a 2-story office building at 801 Main Street, and an additional parking lot at 815, 819 Main Street. The diocese has consolidated its office into 801 Main Street, formerly occupied by Walsh Insurance, which moved to the Larkin District last year. The diocese has agreed to lease 801 Main Street space for 3 years. Krog is familiar with the neighborhood. Last year it completed the $115 million Trico Building apartments immediately east of the diocese properties. Trico includes 242 apartments, 60,000 square feet of commercial space, and enclosed heating parking for 240 cars. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Douglas Development is seeking to make some changes to its Elmwood Bidwell mixed-use project. Due to structural issues discovered and remediated at 585 Potomac Avenue, the building's storefront framing and supporting elements are proposed to be replaced rather than restored. Minor changes to the project's Elmwood Avenue storefronts are also proposed under plans to be reviewed by the Planning Board on July 27th. From the application submitted by project architect Carmino Wood Design. As documented and independently evaluated by Troutman Associates, the existing conditions had deteriorated to a point where portions of the storefront system were experiencing impending structural failure and required corrective intervention to ensure the long-term safety and stability of the broader building facade. Throughout the design process, the project team carefully evaluated opportunities to retain and restore the existing storefront assemblies. However, subsequent investigations revealed the level of deterioration within the storefront framing and supporting elements was significantly greater than initially understood. Based on the findings of the structural engineer and the extent of required repairs, preservation of the existing storefront components was determined to be infeasible. The sketch drawings reflect a revised storefront design developed in response to the identified structural deficiencies while maintaining compatibility with the architectural character of the building and broader project streetscape. As architect of record, Carmina Wood Design approached the redesign with sensitivity to the building's historic composition and established architectural character, while recognizing the need to accommodate its continued evolution and proposed new use. While the deteriorated storefront assemblies could not feasibly retain, the proposed design endeavors to respect the scale, transparency, rhythm, and composition of the historic facade, while providing a durable and appropriate solution for the building's next chapter. Much less significant are the proposed modifications to the storefront along Elmwood Avenue at the corner of Potomac and Elmwood. Here, the decision was made to minimally raise the storefront sill to align with the balance of the Elmwood Avenue storefronts, thus unifying the streetscape. Additionally, the sketch demonstrated the proposed color scheme of the completed storefronts, further enforcing the unified aesthetic, but with slight differences respecting the individuality of each building. The Planning Board will review the proposed modifications on July 27th, 4 p.m. at City Hall, room 912. Breezy Burrito Bar and the Beer Keep say adios. Breezy Burrito Bar and the Beer Keep, both coveted bar restaurant destinations on Elmwood Avenue, are closing their doors. While this is certainly unexpected and very sad news, co-owner Brianna Bree Hunter told me that she is proud of the accomplishments and is filled with gratitude and good memories. Over the course of the last 10 years, Breezy Burrito has been a fun-fueled place to hang out with a zestful buzz that matched the lively decor. With a Cali Tex-Mex menu, an Aztec lounge aesthetic, and a pink disco ball vibe in the bathroom, Breezy was certainly different, and that's what customers loved about it, not to mention Bree, who put her heart and soul into the establishment, which was really emblematic of her free-spirited aura. Then there was the Beer Keep, opened in 2021, which is a supplemental enterprise put in place to add a different type of excitement to the block. The craft bar, beer bar, and bottle shop helped to keep beer lovers satiated in the Elmwood Village, since there was no other real business like it along the Strip. Together, these businesses worked well off one another while keeping customers from coming back for more. Unfortunately, the writing is now on the wall, and Bree and her partners are heading off in new directions. As for Bree, she will continue to run her creative vintage fashion enterprise, Moda Market, and Fashion House Collective. As for Elmwood, it hurts. I always imagined that once Douglas Development filled its mixed-use project on Elmwood at Bidwell, there would be incredible life and synergy between all of these businesses. Unfortunately, that was not meant to happen, which, as I said, really hurts. The only silver lining that I can really come up with is that Bree's energy will still be infused to Elmwood via her other ventures. That said, the skies are super sunny at the moment, but I can't help but think that this is a low-hanging dark cloud that calls for rumbling thunder and the shedding of tears. Fortunately, storms pass, time heals, and memories live on forever. We will be throwing some banger parties until we close at the end of the month, said Bree. So come join us as we wind down it all in high fashion. It's not all bad news. The other small business story in Buffalo right now. It's been a hard stretch for small businesses in Western New York and around the country. I can't tell you how many times I've been scrolling social media and stumbled across another small business announcing its closure. For example, in the past few weeks, Strong Hearts Buffalo served its last meal, the Elmwood Village saying goodbye to Breezy Burrito Bar and the Beer Keep. It's the kind of news that become familiar across the country. Rising rent, thinner margins, and independent restaurants and shops deciding they can't keep the lights on. That's real and it matters, but it isn't the only thing happening. Here's the other story. While some storefronts are going dark, others are being reinvested in. Take Nico's Copying and Printing, a family print shop that's been serving Buffalo's Lovejoy district since 1978. This year, owner George Kaidan was named to the city's first ever Small Business Advisory Cabinet, giving a nearly 50-year-old neighborhood business a direct seat at the table, shaping how City Hall supports small businesses going forward. This advisory cabinet will benefit every small business owner who puts their heart into this city every day, Kaidan said. I'm looking forward to helping shape Buffalo where local businesses can thrive for generations to come. It's the kind of quiet, unglamorous longevity that doesn't often make the headlines. A business that's outlasted 5 decades of economic ups and downs, now helping write the next chapter for others. It's not an isolated case. Around the region, other small business owners are doing the same quiet math, investing instead of walking away. Sports City Pizza Pub on Niagara Street just marked 10 years in business, growing its patio, bar, and delivery footprint even through a pandemic and a 15-year Sabres playoff drought. Reserve Steakhouse opened in Larkinville this summer, with chef Darian Bryan already planning a second, more casual concept at the same address this fall. The city's own small business grant program, which awards up to $20,000 per business, funded through $566,000 in federal dollars, is still putting real money behind owners on commercial corridors citywide. The takeaway? Buffalo is losing some small businesses right now, and that's worth sitting with honestly. But it's also gaining and keeping others willing to bet on it, whether they've been here for 5 decades or 5 months. If you're one of those business owners like me, let me know here for a special project that's in the works. Explore Buffalo's new Twilight Tour of Symphony Circle. Each year, Explore Buffalo does a very popular annual Twilight Tour of mansions on Delaware Avenue, and guests often ask, will you do another Twilight Tour like this? This year, the answer is yes. Explore Buffalo has planned a new Twilight Tour for July 22nd that is a special opportunity to step inside many historic landmarks around Symphony Circle. Proceeds from the Twilight Tour of Symphony Circle support the mission and programs of Explore Buffalo, one of America's largest nonprofit walking tour organizations. This special evening tour from 5 to 8:30 p.m. will feature interior access to architectural treasures never before experienced together in a single tour. Centered on the Olmsted-designed Circle, this neighborhood features the work of legendary architects and extraordinary craftsmanship in historic mansions and other landmarks that will be open for this tour. Participating locations in the Twilight Tour of Symphony Circle include Kleinhans Music Hall, First Presbyterian Church, the Burge Mansion, Burness Ransom House, home of Collins and Collins Attorneys, Harmony House Bed and Breakfast, Benton Music Center, Summer Street Guest House, and the College Club of Buffalo. The Twilight Tour of Symphony Circle is self-guided from one location to the next. You can visit the locations in whatever order you choose and at your own pace. Docents inside each location will share some of the history as you walk through. Due to the historic nature of these properties, some locations have steps at the entrance and or inside the buildings. Tickets are available with start times of 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., and 6 p.m. Tour locations open at 5 p.m. and close at 8:30 p.m. Plan on about 2 hours to go through all locations. Driving from one location to the next is not recommended. Walking to all tour locations is approximately 1 mile. The Twilight Tour of Symphony Circle proceeds rain or shine. Dress for the weather. Comfortable walking shoes are recommended. Again, that tour starts July 22nd. This announcement is from May 21st, 2026. Coming home, Christine Schoenhart appointed Director of Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. The library's Board of Trustees announced today the appointment of Christine Schoenhart as Library Director, effective early August 2026. Schoenhart, a Western New York native, joins Buffalo's oldest cultural institution from the Brooklyn Public Library, where she served as Deputy Chief Librarian. The appointment follows a national search and was approved by the Board of Trustees on May 20th. Schoenhart brings over 25 years of library leadership to the role. She holds a Master's of Library Science from University at Buffalo and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Fredonia State University of New York. In addition to her current role at Brooklyn Public Library, she has previously served as Director of Brooklyn Central Library, the King County Library System in Washington State, Boston Public Library, and the Gleason Public Library in Massachusetts. Board Chair Kamina El-Bahari welcomed the appointment. On behalf of our board, we are thrilled to welcome Christine Schoenhart to lead the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. Schoenhart offers the strategic expertise and operational excellence we sought and the community-minded spirit of our North Star to remain always profoundly public. During her tenure at the Brooklyn Central Library, Schoenhart was instrumental in several high-profile initiatives that drew national attention and demonstrated her commitment to continuing to make libraries accessible and to keep programming culturally relevant. In 2022, the library relaunched its vinyl record collection, bringing back a beloved program that allowed cardholders to borrow from a curated collection of 400 albums spanning hip-hop, jazz, rock, country, and more, with in-library turntable stations for on-site listenings. Buffalo's library launched a similar program last year. Brooklyn Central Library also hosted the Big Book of HOV, an immersive experience celebrating Jay-Z's life and career in honor of his hip-hop's 50th anniversary. Entirely funded by Jay-Z's Rock Nation, the exhibition featured rare photos, memorabilia, original recordings, and a replica of his recording studio, and was free and open to the public. The exhibition, paired with the release of 13 limited edition Jay-Z album artwork library cards, resulted in 14,000 new library membership. Schoenhart will assume the role of permanent director in early August 2026, succeeding interim director Dorinda Darden, who was appointed last spring following the illness and passing of library director John Spears. El-Bahari acknowledged the library's recent transition period with gratitude. After a period of loss and transition, the library is excited to welcome a new chapter to the People's Cultural Institution in Buffalo. We are confident Christine Schoenhart will not only meet this moment of transformation for our communities and libraries, but also will be a trusted voice and advocate against troubling organized challenges to the free access of information. Bahari also expressed appreciation for the outgoing interim director. The Board of Trustees is grateful to librarian Dorinda Darden, whose steady leadership and more than 30 years of experience helped to move our mission forward while steering staff through extraordinary circumstances. Established in 1836, Buffalo and Erie County Public Library is Buffalo's oldest cultural institution, serving more than 2.35 million visitors annually through 37 branches and mobile services. In 2025, every dollar invested in the library returned.
Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit